Hello, welcome back to Ketter Gaming. We're picking back up here on Felsbrunn doing our animal series, and we're pretty much picking right up where we left off. We've got the sheep growing here. If we look in at the menu, we've got a total of 45 sheep. They're reproducing, they got food and water, and they're for the most part pretty clean. And so we were loading up our bales on this trailer, which we have very unrealistically hooked up to the Mahindra right now. But given that we're in the negative on money right now, we can't really be too picky about things. Since last time, I've decided we're going to do a couple of things. One is we planted this field in grass, and we'd gone ahead and bought this planter, but realistically, I don't think we need to have a planter. We probably could get away with just leasing it. And so we're going to go and take that back to the shop and sell it at some point here off camera. The other thing that I want to do is we're full up on grass right now. And I want to go see where we can go and sell grass. Even if the price is really low, we're just completely out of grass right now. So we want to be able to sell that. And then we also want to get a barn and be able to store, I believe it's hay. If we TED this into hay, we can store it. So if we look at the barns, oops, there, the hay loft, we can store hay and straw in here, which will be really necessary for us as we move forward. And so I really want to get to this hay loft as well. And that would require that we're also getting a tedder to turn the grass into hay. Now, I thought we had a version of a tedder. I thought this would TED, but apparently not. This looks like it's just a windrower. Interesting. I have to look at that. I thought this would TED the grass as well, but maybe not. So if we go back here and look at tedders again, we have a 6 meter, an 8 meter, and a 13 meter tedder. But then as soon as we TED, we will need a windrower. And this is an 8.5, 9, 14. Yeah, so we got some different options. This isn't that expensive at 8.5. And we could just pair that up with this tedder, which is 8.7, and do something like that. So with that said, I think what we're going to do is bring this grass down and sell it just out of curiosity to see what we're going to get. At the price that I saw down there, I'm thinking this is going to be like $5,000 maybe. But we'll find out here real quick. I'm trying to think of the best way to get down there. I'm driving over here so I don't drive over this grass on the field that we own, because I think we're going to mow that as well here, which would be really good. So we're getting close to getting going here. Like we bought everything and we're in the negative, and that's kind of holding us back from doing anything new, but we're right on the cusp of starting to make some money. And so I think what I'm going to do is actually leave the time cranked up here, because we have 10 days worth of feed in with the sheep right now. And so if I just leave the time up here a little bit as we go, run down to the store, we'll get some more wool building up, and then we'll go and sell the wool here in a little bit. So with that, I know we've done a couple of runs back and forth to the store, so I think we'll just skip ahead and see you at the barn. Alright, so midnight just rolled around a moment ago, and are sitting at about 2,800 for our daily loan interest amount right now. And so That's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. So as you can see in the upper right hand corner there, we're at about $7,000 negative. And so we really just got to work on getting that loan paid off as fast as possible. Now, I thought this was the barn, but yes, this is the barn. I'm trying to figure out, I think this is where I dropped the bales, maybe? Or the grass. Let me just see. Yep, I can dump grass in there. Alright. So here we go. We got 55,000 liters of grass. And I was expecting this to sell for, about 5,000. A little bit less than that, probably because the price has been going down steadily. Let's just go double check and see what the price is. Yeah, $73 per 1,000 bushels. Quite honestly, not even worth the drive down here. And so I don't really think we're going to be driving grass down. Like maybe if we start making silage here eventually, we'll start hauling that down the side of the mountain here, but it's just not worth the drive time that it takes to get down here. So I just wanted to do that bit there. I think we're going to take this back up to the top of the hill now, and then we're going to take a look at what that cedar that we've got is going to sell for, and likely run that back down to the store and sell that. And we just took out that sign. Driving incident number 1. We're going to start a running tally of driving incidents in these episodes here if I can't manage to get things under control. Alright, so we'll see you guys back up at the farm. Alright, we're back up at the farm, and as you can see, we're almost full up on wool again. Just started filling that 4th bale, so we're going to go ahead and see if we can clean up this opening a little bit. And then we're going to load that up and take that down to sell, hopefully, if the price is halfway decent. So we'll do this. We can't drive straight here again. I know you guys are so surprised. We're just cleaning that up. We're going to dump that right back in. And there's that dropped off. So we're going to go ahead and grab these pallets real quick before we do anything else. I think I can put all 3 of these on that trailer, so I guess you'll just have to excuse me as I fumble around here a little bit, as loading the bales is not my strong point, and we got to get lined up here, and it takes a fair amount of precision to do this without making a mess. Oh, we bumped that one. Is that going to cause me problems later? I don't know. We'll find out. And we're pushing this other one. Not terribly realistic, but we just want to get him out of the way. Oh, we're not lined up here. Push it on, drop it off, back out. Oh. Alright, well, it getting dark right now didn't help. Let's just slow down time just a smidge while we deal with this. Okay, what I want to do is, oh, excuse me, undo the straps. This is very dangerous. And I want to give these all a little bit of a nudge forward to see if I can make enough room to get the rest of them on. And I'll try and do it without running everything else over at the same time. So we're just gonna come up here and give these just the gentlest of nudges. Ooh, that little Mahindra. Not quite suited for this. Oh, don't back off the cliff. Alright, let's see now if I can pick this other one up. Just need to stick it in there. Pick it up. Perfect. And then we're just gonna raise it up here. Oh, we're going the wrong way. Right, turn it in just a smidge, straighten it out, lower it down, dump it off, get it up there, boom. Oh, look at that, it's almost perfect. Okay, I couldn't quite say that with a straight face, but we're going to go ahead and lock everything down. And then we're going to grab this last one, and hopefully I won't mess everything up while I'm trying to toss it in there. I was thinking as well, while I was driving up the side of the mountain, I had lots of time to think, because it took forever. I ended up only going 16 miles an hour most of the way up the side of the mountain, which was relatively painful. Anyway, I was thinking that a great thing for us to get into right now would be silage. And so when we sell this and have a little bit of extra money, silage pits are really cheap. Like I think the smallest one is only 15K. And so we could get a small silage pit set up and put all of our excess grass into a silage pit and start selling silage, which I think would make us a lot more profit than just the grass did. And it's a first steps towards preparing for cows, which I think would be the next animal we'll try and do. So, and this thing kind of fell over a little bit. Let's set it down. And boom. Oh, that looks great. Alright, let's just jump out here, and we'll jump in here and put the straps on. And I think that's going to get all of them. Yep. Oh, I love it. So I've got all those done. We've got that one still in there. Hopefully it'll start filling. We'll be able to tell if it's still filling based on if it opens into another one. If it starts a new crate, we'll be able to tell if it's stopped filling that one or if it continues to fill up, which would be preferable. I'm going to go ahead and get this guy started on that field, because it looks like, if I go to the map here, our field 5, which is growing grass, is once again ready to harvest, although we're not at the next stage, so maybe I need to let that go one more stage for harvesting. I'm curious about our game settings. We do have crop destruction turned on, so it's not quite ready to harvest yet. I was going to start the worker off on that while we go down and take these bales in. And we're going to speed up time just a bit. We're going to go look at the bale price. So wool price seems pretty low, but what I'm going to do is haul these down there anyway so that they're ready to go. And we're going to go in person for this and hopefully not roll this heavy trailer on the way down. Now, we still haven't dealt with this planter, which is the other thing that I really want to get done. And if I go into the garage here, I can get 76K for this if I sell it from up here. I'll probably get more if I took it back to the store, but that's a long drive with the tractor. And so I have to think if there's some other piece of equipment that I need to pick up. probably like a tedder or a windrower anyway, so I'm going to be going down there to get it. So yeah, that's a good point. So I'll probably take it down to the store when we're ready to buy a tedder or a windrower. I really want to see how much this wool is going to sell for before we spend that money. And so we're going to do that. We're going to get this down to the spinnery and at least leave it lined up down there ready to be sold. And yeah, see where things get. So we're going to see you guys down at the spinnery. This is actually working pretty good. The camera doesn't like the trailer on the Mahindra. It does that quite easily, but yeah, this is a nice little setup. I do wish that there was a smaller trailer in the game that sat a little bit lower that would connect to this better. But this is a pretty cool little setup, so very happy with it so far. Glad we bought it, even though we're pressed for cash. This thing can get up and down the mountain quite a bit faster, which makes our lives easier when we're just looking to run little errands like this. So good times. All right, so with that, I'm going to jump down here to the spinnery and drop this down there, and it'll be light then, hopefully, and we'll look at getting the rest of the machinery down to the shop as well and see what we're going to be able to do about getting a barn lined up here for us soon and kicking off some silage. Alright, so we got to the spinnery here, and I'm looking at the prices, and they've been going down fairly steadily since we left the top of the farm there. And so we're not going to sell our wool at this price, and so we're going to actually just drop this trailer here and leave it for later when the prices are a little bit better. And we're going to take this Mahindra and bring a piece of equipment back up from the shop with it when we bring the planter down. I'm going to do something that I'm not proud of. I thought about just doing it off camera, but I'm trying not to, be too cheating. Try and do all the things, especially involving purchases on camera for you guys, because I am, oh my goodness, a terrible driver. I am, that guy came out of nowhere. I didn't even see him. I'm trying to be pretty legitimate on my playthrough here, and so I want to do most things involving big purchases and things on camera with you guys. And so I'm going to do something here which is a little bit cheating, but given how long it takes to pull things up and down the mountain, I'm going to reset our planter and then sell it, just because we'll get a lot more money for it. And I'm not really... not really interested in driving up and down this mountain so many times today. I only have so much time to record this, and so we're just gonna do it real quick. And then I'm not even gonna be able to hook up to it with this, am I? Because it's not a normal pull. Oh, that drives me nuts. I thought I had a great plan, and I'm still going to have to drive the tractor down. So I can't reset the tractor because it will drain all the fuel, and so there's a cost to resetting it, and I can't push it with this thing. So, yeah, I really don't want to drive the tractor down here, so I guess we're just going to sell it for the cheaper price and deal with it. So there we go. We sold that for 76, and then I keep hitting the menu instead of the buy screen. We want to get a tedder and then a windrower, and so we're gonna get this windrower here. We like this style. This is a very American style windrower. Oh, that's 23K. We can definitely afford that. And then the tedders. It's funny. So these are both 3.8 And this is a pull behind. This one is a lot bigger. I think we're going to get it. It's a little bit more, but I'll be honest, the secret hope is that I can hook it up to the back of the Mahindra. To bring it up to the top of the mountain is the only reason I bought this one. So let's see if that's going to be the case. Oh yeah, we can do this. Alright, so I'm going to bring our new tedder and windrower up to the farm. And the idea being is that we're going to be able to buy a salvage pit. Oh, steering's a little bit difficult with this big machine. Okay, so the idea, oh yeah, this will be a fun trip up the mountain. The idea is that we're going to be able to buy a silage pit for our farm up there with the 20K that we have left, and start storing some silage while we wait for cotton to be a better price. Or not cotton, I'm sorry, the wool to be a better price. Once the wool's up to a good enough price to sell, we'll be able to sell that off and really kickstart our farm, either with some more animals or even buying another field or getting a new animal pen. I haven't decided yet. Either way, we're pretty self-sufficient up at this point. Like, we could go sell this for this stuff that we have right now for money to keep going. I know we'll be able to keep the I'm not sure what I hit there. I know we'll be able to keep the sheep going with what we have, but we keep hitting something on the road, which is odd. So we're going to go ahead and skip up to the farm, though, because I absolutely despise the nighttime, and I'll suffer through that on my drive up here. So we'll see you guys at the farm. Alright, we are arriving home now. I had to slow time down a little bit because I think our wool is getting full back up at the farm here already, as a full day has passed. And so, oh no, we're gonna lose it. Oh, of course, this had to happen right as we get back on camera. Yeah. So, oh, we're gonna pop the curb here. This thing's been getting hung up on the weirdest little pieces of terrain, which is no surprise given that it's not really designed to be pulled by a Mahindra. So I'm gonna just leave that right there, get out of the way. And as you can see, I'm going to jump over here into the 6R, and we're almost full here. So I think what we're going to do is back up here and just push these out of the way for now, and let it keep going. Hopefully it'll finish filling that back one before it starts a new one. And as you can see, that one in the corner did fill all the way up, even though we bumped it slightly. So, whoops. I did not mean to go out into the grass. I was going to leave them in the dirt here, but I got a little overzealous. And so, yeah, you can see that this one in the corner here that we nudged before did get filled up, which is exciting. We're going to go ahead and just scoop this other one up here. Oh, don't do it. Alright. Hey, we're getting better at that. Well, as long as these are out here already, we're just going to shove it out there in the grass and leave it there. Perfect. So we've got those things done. I can bump the time back up, get into the daylight, and we've got to go back down and get the other implement here. And so I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera, and probably it'll be back up here for next episode. The last thing that I wanted to do before we wrap up the episode is take a quick look around and see where the best place to put a silage pit would be. I want to leave enough room to put a cow pen down at some point. And so what I think we're going to do is clean up after these animals. start the worker off on the grass, and then we'll see if it's light enough to put up a silage pit. So bear with me as we get this equipment moved back around. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, that was so close. Alright. Phew. Saved. Alright, let's zoom back out here ways. See if we can back this up without driving it into the sheep pen. It's a lot to ask for, we know. And turn this guy on. Perfect. And just send it right back into feed. Good deal. Alright, so we're going to drop this trailer off, and then I'm just curious where our water levels are at. We got a little bit in the tank still, so we'll go ahead and dump this in. And then we'll just go back this up and, yeah, get it refilling. Oh, we're going through the water. We're going through the water. Alright, well, not quite backing it up, but we're still going to be able to refill it here. So we'll let that refill, and we'll get the chrome fired off. Can I not get in from here? Mowers look sharp. And it's almost light. And if I look at the map now, I don't know if it's ever going to be better than this yellow harvest state. I mean, we've let that go for a full day, and it hasn't really improved any. This part went back to the growth stage because that's what we've driven on. So I really think it's good to go. I mean, I think we could fertilize it to get an extra bonus, but grass-wise, I don't think we're going to get any better than that, so. Oh, no more space to place new pallets. That's not right. It's confused. Oh, and because we got distracted, we've driven in a odd line. Oh well. Let's see, I think this is the field actually. So I can fire a worker off here. Yep. And we'll let him go. I wish I'd lined him up with one of the other ones so that he was cutting on the same path and it would stack up, but oh well. And we are now into the day, so I'm going to slow us down to times 30x, and we're going to put this water back next to the trough, and then we're going to go find us a good spot to do silage. I'd really love to toss a silage pit right down here in this unused area to my left. Let me look at the map and see what of this I actually own. Okay, so not all of it. I own a section of it though. So if I push P, we go in here. I think it's under silos. A double small would be 30k, which I don't have. Alright, I have 15k. So, object collides with an object. Hang on, let's bring up the menu and then go into the buy menu. And this way we can see how much money we're gonna spend changing height. So that would be 30k. Wow. What if I did lowered it some? And bring it up here, higher, lower, lower. just a lot for the land deformation. How about in here? Oh, that's getting closer. I could actually do that. It's 16. I'm liking that. It's gonna lower that side a little bit. 17. 16.75. Let's put it there and see how that looks. Oh yeah, this will be perfect. I mean, it's a little low there, but that's not bad at all. We'll be able to load this up. Yep, this is exactly what we were looking to do. And terrain-wise, it's going to be a little annoying to have this bump here, but it's not too bad. It could have been worse. Awesome. All right. Well, let me go pick this up, this grass that we have just laying here, and put a little bit in there and see how that's going to work for us. I have not touched silage yet in 19, and so this will be a little bit of a learning experience for us. And while I'm thinking of it, just because I like jumping all over the place, keeping an eye on our cotton prices. They're going back up. I'm not sure what the prices are in 19 yet for cotton. In fact, I never really did animals in 17, so I'm not sure what the price was there. So I've just got to kind of keep an eye out for it and see what it gets up to over time here. Are we going to pick that up? Or no, it's having trouble because the terrain is kind of bumpy here, so I'm just going to back up and forth a couple times and see if we can get it to bounce down and pick some of this grass up. Worst case, we'll get some over here. There we go. And hey, what do you know? It looks like our grass pile's lined up for the most part. Oh, come on. My driving, or the precision of my driving is very painful. Here we go. Start using the steering wheel more. And we've got a lot of grass area that we're kind of wasting, I would say, and that I could be mowing the non-field parts, but right now we've got so many different jobs going on that I'm just really trying to focus on getting some of the basics done. And once we have the farm kind of up and running, we can worry about maybe some more efficient use of all the resources we have at our disposal. See if we can not hit the silage bin with the forks. And we're going to try and approach this from this side, see if we can pick that up. Looks like we got most of it. Alright, this is pretty good. So I know we're not full, but I just want to see that this is going to dump in there. Oh yeah. Awesome. Alright. Well, there you guys go. We've got silage now. I'm very excited because this is going to be the start of some actual income that we can sell. And alongside the wool, obviously. I know I keep saying cotton instead. I don't know why. It's just got my head confused. But we've got the wool going over here from the sheep. We'll be selling some of that off here as soon as the price goes up to something good. And now we've got the grass and silage pit, so we can actually have some jobs to do while we're waiting for sheep to go without just running the clock at 120 all the time, which is good. And so now we're going to be able to start getting ready to expand pretty soon. If it wasn't such a far drive, I'd be super tempted to lease a forage harvester and take that field of corn out and put in here as well. But it's just not convenient. So that's the only downside to being up here, is we're so far away from the store. Because I'm sure we would get more than, I don't know, it'd probably cost us $50,000 to lease a forage harvester. I'm sure we would get more than $50,000 in the silage that we would get from foraging all that corn. So that's something to think about. Maybe we still do that. I don't know. So many jobs to do now, though, and I'm super excited that we kind of kick-started the farm. I think selling that cedar was the right thing to do. I know I was going back and forth about it when we bought it originally, and in hindsight, it was a bit of a mistake, but that's half the fun of the game, is trying to figure out what things make sense, what things don't, and, honestly, if you get too wound up about playing the perfect game or the perfect style, things just cease to be fun. So I'm excited. We've got a good start. And so with that, I think that we accomplished everything we set out to in this episode. And so we're going to sign off there. Hopefully you're enjoying the episodes. If you are, please go ahead and hit that like button for me. And if you're not subscribed already and you're enjoying the episodes, please hit that subscribe button. I'd love to also get feedback, comments from everybody below. So if you've got thoughts on what we should do next, or any feedback on things that you'd like to see me change in the videos, things that I could improve, that would be welcome feedback as well. I'm fairly new to all of this, and just, feedback would be awesome. So other than that, I'm having a lot of fun with this series. I'll be posting a separate new series here as well next week to go along with this one, to get a little variety. So if you're watching this one and liking it, go ahead and check out some of my other videos as well. And with that, I will see you guys next time. Kedrick out.